Yeah, thank you. So now we are on Simin Kuftzadi Daladini Goises Shmiras Hames. Also not a pleasant subject. How far are we going on this one, Naftali?
Aleph through Yud Aleph.
Oh, it's always Thursday nights. Okay. So Dine Goises Shmiras Hames. Goises means somebody who's dying. And then Shmira, like we said the other day, we're going along the life cycle here. So we just finished with Chayla. After Chayla is Goises. And then after Goises is Shmira on the mace. Uba Yud Beis Sifin. So a Goises, Pirish, what's a Goises? Pirish, Hamayla Lecha Begrainoi, Mipnei Tsaras Hachaza. He's getting phlegm in his throat because the chest is tight. V'zeh Yikra Samach Lemis, and that's what happens close to death. The Lashon Goises who Lashon Megis, but Kader, it's the Lashon of somebody mixing a pot. That the phlegm is going around in his throat, the same way that when you mix a pot, so the liquid gets moved all around. Right? So what's the status of a goises? Goises is considered alive and for everything, meaning he's considered totally alive. You're not allowed to touch him. Anybody who touches a goises is as if he's killing him. What's it similar to? If you have a candle that's sort of dripping, where it's flickering, right? When you have that flame that's about to go out, and you touch it, you're gonna end up putting it out even faster, which is not a good thing. So Aruch, even though he may be a geistis for a long time, and it's a big tsar to him and to his relatives. You cannot cause them to die faster. Going to take out the pillow or the mattress from under him. Machmas sha'imrim sheyesh nutzais miktsas oifes shegarim la'akev hasamisa. So some people say that the feathers from the birds can cause the death from coming on. I lost them mafteichos besa knesses tachas rosh. I ought to take the keys of the shul to put it under his head. There's also another school for that. Calls us also to do any of those type of things also because you end up touching him. But if there's something that's causing the yitzia of the patira, meaning it's causing it not to take place, that you're allowed to remove. Same as a maisa. You're not doing a maisa. You're removing what's stopping him from dying. You're not holding on to him. This is a loaded topic, right? Meaning, what exactly are you allowed to do for somebody who's dying? Do you have to give IV? Can you stop IV? Can you stop antibiotics? Do you give more morphine? All these are all very, very complicated shilas. And each case is totally different than the next. Fine. Base. Also legal because even though you're not allowed to touch a ghost, so let's say a fire breaks out. So then you say, well, I can't move him because maybe I'm killing him. So you don't leave him there. And he comes even before saving Sifrei Torah. Meaning, you'd think, well, he's dying anyways. This would be the American attitude. He's dying anyways, so why should we lose the Sifrei Torah and save him? Let's just let him die and we'll save the Sifrei Torah. No, that's not the way it works. He is considered full-fledged alive, just like anybody else. Anybody standing by you have to make sure that he doesn't stick out any of his limbs outside the bed. That's when Yaakov died. He pulled up his legs for the mita. You should put chairs by the bed. So they shouldn't be able to stick his hand or his foot outside of the bed. Right? But if he does stick out his hand, you can't touch him to put him back, because like we said, you're not allowed to touch a goises. If since a person is about to die, nobody's allowed to leave him. You can't leave him alone. But it sounds like that's only if there's nobody else there. There's other people there that you can. Person shouldn't die when he's alone. Because the body, the nefesh, is mishtaimem, is going crazy when it goes out from the guf. It's actually a mitzvah to be by somebody when he's passing away. It's best to have 10 people there. And you shouldn't be Isaac Chas V'Shalom B'Dorim B'Telem, Eli Yaskim B'Torah B'Tehillim B'Sham B'Zmayrim, Kimesuda B'Sefer Ma'avar Yabik. That's the Sefer we quoted before. And the minig is to light candles in front of the goises. Hey, after his neshama goes out, they put by his nose a feather. Then if it doesn't move, so then you know that he's dead because he's not breathing. Because if his nose is not pushing out any wind to move the feather, so he's dead. But you do a shemes. I'm sorry, that's when you open the windows, because when somebody dies, you're supposed to open up all the windows. Avelim say tziduk hadin. Then you actually say Dayan Emes with Baruch Atah Hashem, Mekarin Kedin, and she's bar, and they tear Kriya, the way we're going to say in the next simon. So it's a whole debate. Okay, well, we'll see. Anybody who's standing by a mace, when it dies, is chayav to tear Kriya. The minig nowadays is not to do this. Right? So it seems like the minig is not to do it. Doctors, as far as I know, don't do it either. Because what is this? When a person dies, that's like a Sefer Torah that's burning. Rik mi Yisrael, by Torah, which is there's no somebody who's rake, who's empty in Klal Yisrael, who doesn't have at least some Torah mitzvah. So I feel a katan shalom and mikra, even on a katan who just learned psukim. Or even on a woman who doesn't learn Torah, you chayav to tear kriya. Even if this mace sometimes does averas just from desire, chayav and the kroya love you chayav to tear kriya. But if he's ruggle do averas, afilu rak to teyav, even if he's just doing it as desire, is a bechlal parshim midarke tzibur. They're included in the people that separate from the derech of the tzibur. She'ain kairin alav, that them we don't tear kriya on them. Kriya zu shalameis she'ain v'savlan alav elish kar mifnei sha'im de mishasatiyas neshama, and kriya that's not for relatives, it's just for somebody who happened to be by the death. Sagi mikriya moetes, all you have to do is tear a little bit. Afilu min atzad, even on the side, or b'shuli ha-beged sagi, or on the bottom of the beged is enough. Meaning you don't have to do it on the top. This is Dayan Fisher Zechron Aruch told my father Zechron Aruch that when you tear kriya by the kaisel, you could tear kriya on the bottom of your shirt. You don't have to tear it at the top of the shirt. So a lot of people don't want to ruin their shirts,
But
which is
isn't
not
that
the proper
point?
thing. What, to ruin the shirt?
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
don't
it's
get out
nagaya
of
to
it by
you. It's
being
nagaya to
a
you, Jesse,
pansy
this week.
and
No,
go in
that
Erev Shabbos. So you don't have to.
no, that's true. But he's saying here that there is such a thing as a kriya on the bottom of the shirt. So Dayan Fisher told my father you could do that. I never heard that from anybody else. But this is the source for tearing on the bottom. Fine. Zion. Matziman ein of shel mace. You close the eyes of the mace. When we sheyesh lebanim, somebody who has kids, yaseh zois benoi, his son should close his eyes. You can ask parrots for Maisa with my father, with this, with me. That Yosef did it. And if there's a Bechor, then the Bechor should do it. When they take him off the bed to lay him on the ground, we have to make sure that he's covered. Because don't you'd think, okay, maybe he's not embarrassed because he's dead, so we don't have to make sure he's dressed. No, you have to have the same amount of sneeze and death when you're alive. Anything in the neighborhood of the mace, the minig is to pour it out. Meaning that house and 2 other houses. Right? Even if a child dies within 30 days of birth, so even if if somebody's so young, you still pour out the water, but Shabbos you don't have to do it. It says you don't have to do it. Yud, means a lot of these things are, most of it is all Kabbalah. So it's very difficult to understand everything that we're saying here. So somebody who's being the shayman on the mace, so even if it's not his relative, potter is potter from all the mitzvahs in the Torah, meaning the mitzvah says, you're not allowed to eat in the room that the mace is there, unless it's with the mechitza. Even if it's a temporary eating. Even eating fruit and drinking water. Also, it's also. And you have to warn the shaymer about this.
What if it's
What? Yeah, but
a guy?
No, I don't think we're going to care about this for goyim, as far as I know. V'gam also levarach sham eze bracha. You're not allowed to make a bracha there either, and we're going to see more of this later on because you don't want to be making brachas in front of a mace because of loyeg l'rosh. You're going to make him jealous, etc., etc. Okay, we'll stop over there. And everybody should have a fine night, and nobody should ever need any of these halachas. All right. Have a good Shabbos also.